Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, indicating that it is safe to move about the cabin. For your own safety, though, we request that you keep your seatbelt fastened when you're in your seat during this short flight. We'll start our in-flight beverage service shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Good evening, everyone, and here we go again. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing good tonight. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
Excellent.
Have a good day today, or what?
It was a busy day. We were running at full speed, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I was out and about since about 4:45 this morning. I've been doing location scouting. A buddy of mine that's down in the States, he asked me to shoot a couple of clips for him for a movie he's working on. So that's kind of a nice thing. And in that location scouting, I went down to McKinnon Flats to see if that had got any better, because they say the water level is down. It ain't.
It's probably higher than it was last time we checked.
Well, actually, no, it's about the same right now. Because I was hoping Saturday morning looks like it might be good for a fly, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right.
But if we do pick a spot, it'll have to be someplace other than McKinnon Flats. So
okay.
But anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about a couple of things. One, and we'll start off with number one, and that's to talk about the event that was presented towards us. If any of our flyers wanted to participate in shooting video for some fireworks, it's seems to be a pretty good thing. One of our own people is actually one of the guys that's organizing a lot of it. He's not the chief organizer, so don't give him a hard time, but he's trying to organize the flying. And he's joining us tonight. I was hoping that Scott would join us as well, but tonight Ron is joining us.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ron. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I'm doing any better. I'd have to be two people. and I think there's a lot of people that are glad that I'm not. So
there you go.
So anyway, Ron, tell us about the event.
Well, I wish the organizer had joined us tonight, but I guess he got tied up. So I'll fill in what I know. So bottom line is a group out in Strathmore that has put together and teamed up with the Global Fest fireworks guys. The people who put on Global Fest I guess they still have some shows planned this year. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're planning a socially distanced, stay at home, watch the fireworks streamed live on the internet, tune into the soundtrack on your local radio station, fireworks event for Canada Day. So I got sort of involved answering some questions for them. And now we're trying to put together, actually have a drone up and part of the live streaming video. So the drone footage will be live as well.
That's kind of good, as long as we can stream the video, right?
Yeah. So I've got with my drone a box that's the box has to be attached or plugged in anything. It connects wirelessly, and I'll give out 1080p at 60 frames a second. And an HDMI or USB or an Ethernet output into any sort of video streaming system. So been talking with the guy who's going to do the streaming, and he's sort of all set up to take a live feed from the drone as well. So there'll be a couple of cameras on the ground live streaming, actually 3, I think. There'll be a drone live streaming. They've now got a helicopter that's going to be doing sort of a wide long shot streaming. So the live video should be spectacular. They were hoping to have maybe another couple of drones up so we get another couple of perspectives on it. Not necessarily for the streaming part of it, but some additional footage because they're going to be producing this into a future shortly in the future web broadcast with quite a good show on it. So
cool. I'm just busy misspelling words here. So let's go back to that one. Anyway, so a couple of questions that were kind of brought to my attention, and I was kind of curious of what's happening with that and stuff. So basically, this is going to be a night flight, right?
Correct. Yeah, the fireworks is going to start at 11 and go till about 25 minutes.
Okay, so I thought it started at 11:30, but yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And so we are doing this under 901.39.
90139.
Night flight operation.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And you're requiring full night flight lighting, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Something that makes the feds happy.
Pardon me?
Something that makes the feds happy. Yeah.
Okay. See, I think that may be an issue. I don't know for sure. I don't know how many people necessarily have strobes.
Correct.
So I think that might be what puts people off on it.
Sure.
Question from Leo. He wants to know, can the Mavic Mini be used?
Well, ultimately, Mavic Mini isn't following the regulations and probably could be used. I suppose by the letter of the law, there's nothing that stops you from using it, right?
Yeah. No, I I bring that up because, like I say, Leo asked that question in the chat here.
Yeah.
And he actually did use his Mini for the I think it was the Alberta Winter Games, wasn't it, Leo? But he used the Mini for recording that, and it came out surprisingly well.
I've been happy with the video I've seen off of that. I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah. So so I don't think realistically it should work. It's just the only problem is it's only 2.7K, right?
Right.
I don't know if that's an issue with you guys or not. So.
Well, I suggest submitting it to the email address that was in the web feed there, on the web page or the Facebook page. Send it to because Damien's the video guy. He's organizing that, and basically with that option, that might be more than enough for some supplementary shots, right?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, definitely not for the main feed, but it's definitely good for fill shots. So hopefully that answers your question there, Leo. Let's see what else. Yeah. Thanks for correcting the time. Because I was under the understanding it started at 11:30, and you guys are doing a kind of a meet and greet and organize next week. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going out there on Saturday for a meeting with all the folks from the town and the RCMP and the security company and a bunch of representatives from the sponsors. The video production guy isn't going to make it out on Saturday, but we'll maybe see him later in the week. Then there were going to be that'll be sort of just a site discussion on Saturday, and then next week, prior to the event, probably the night before, we're actually going to go out and do a rehearsal, try out the technology, make sure the flights all work where we want them to work and where we want people to be. And then the night of, we'll be going back out, a few hours early, still when it's daylight, and we're still light out, and then doing the setup and everything else, and hanging out for the evening.
On that, are they issuing a NOTAM or is there a TFR or anything?
I've asked that question from the fireworks folks, because when they submit for their approval, it's up to the discretion of NAV Canada whether they issue a NOTAM or not. So as I assume as part of that, there is a NOTAM going out. And then once I get the final word back from the feds on the SFOC, if they want a NOTAM issued, then they'll be issuing one.
Excuse me, I'm just playing with something here. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves.
How many guys are you looking for, Ron?
Well, I ultimately 3 or 4. We'd like to have 3 or 4 teams, and we'd like to have them as a team with a pilot and observer, and not necessarily in the strict sense of detect and avoid detection visual for the observer, but because it's at night, because we're going to sort of assign particular flight areas for each team, we just think an observer would be a good mitigation for making sure that if there is anybody else sort of straying onto the site, we've got somebody to sort of detect that. And then also just situational awareness, because if we want you to fly in basically sort of a 100-meter box, making sure you're staying where you're staying and just providing that assistance.
So if you have 3 teams, are you going to triangulate the drones, or what is the plan for it?
Yeah, if we have 3 teams, then we're going to put one on the west side, and then probably a couple on the east side. Maybe one, we're thinking maybe one either a higher level. So somebody at sort of, that 200 to 400 feet, somebody from basically ground to about 200 feet. So we're capturing about different perspectives.
You had mentioned a helicopter. What's the helicopter's plan? Is he going to be circling or straight hover?
He's going to be, I understand he's going to be quite distant and circling the site. So. Okay.
Now, is this the type of nav lights you're requiring?
Those are just the Creon strobes, aren't they?
Yeah,
those will work.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the Transport Canada approved ones.
Yeah, I had those for my drone, and then I just bought. I like those.
So, yeah, no, I was just curious because, like, if you're going to the full package, right? Then it's going to require red, green, and white.
Well, that's not what it says in the regulation.
Aha! I'm going to beg to differ with you, my friend.
It says, no pilot unless the remote pilot is equipped with position lights sufficient to allow the aircraft to be visible to the pilot and any visual observer.
Right.
Nowhere does that specify red and green.
When you're familiar with position lights?
I'm very familiar with position lights on aircraft. Absolutely.
And position lights require a red on the left wing and green on the right wing and white in the back. That's why I have these
position lights. It does not say color-coded position lights.
Okay, we won't bother getting into that one, but
well, I'm curious because I get people say that, and I actually was down with some night ops in the United States on a Part 107 waiver, and quite frankly, you have the red on the right and the green, and then you get it out 100 yards. You can't tell which side of the drone you're looking at from 100 yards.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, hang on.
But I'm happy to be corrected on it.
So if you get, go ahead.
So those are position lights as defined by Nav Canada, or Transport Canada, sorry.
Right.
So that's where I base my definition, because like I say, that is their definition and that picture is from them. So that's why I bring that up. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a good discussion, but
that'll be a good question for you guys to do when you do your walkthrough next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I actually pulled that off of Transport Canada's site, and because I was curious what they meant by position lights as well.
So where did you pull that off of their site? Just off an aircraft or actual
aircraft specification? So
yeah,
it's not under your operating rules; it's under the aircraft specification. So, but yeah. That being said, we're not going to get into that here, and
well, that's fair.
Yeah, but just something for thought. Yeah, and yes. Anyway,
Will the guys be having radio contact while they're doing this, Ron?
Yeah, we're supplying, the group is the organizer supplying UHF radio, so a separate channel for the drone guys, and then also be able to communicate to all the site personnel and the video production team as well.
Okay.
Just a little clarification, at least what Damien was saying to me, because some people may be a little bit nervous about their drone being damaged and stuff, but basically there's going to be kind of a no-fly zone for the drones, which is the immediate danger area for the fireworks, and everybody else's drones will be outside there, and they will have one, shall we say, sacrificial drone that they're going to fly within the fireworks. You know,
that's what Damien wants to do.
I don't see that happening under Transport Canada regs, but like I say, just I'm addressing what our members would end up doing if they're out there is there will be very, very minimal risk to your aircraft. So
correct, yeah. All the planned flights for the filming is outside of the firework detonation area.
Yeah.
And they wanted to fly one, like I say, as you say, through the fireworks.
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant on that based on the fact that I'm not sure that you'll get any real meaningful footage.
Not unless you blow up the aircraft.
Well, then you lose the footage because it'll be in the bottom of the lake.
Oh, details. Come on now. So, but anyways, for those that are interested in it, just remember this is being done by a nonprofit group. So if you want to go out there and make a ton of money doing this, it's not the place for it. But if you want the opportunity to, which is pretty much a once in a lifetime kind of a thing, unless you are lucky enough to get a paid gig to do this, it's not often you can fly this close to fireworks totally legally and have great footage for your personal use, or if you're in business, it's good for the portfolio, or even if you're starting a business, you know, it's a nice little feather in your cap. So consider it, but
I'll add one point to that, Lauren. Just because this is a first of a kind social distancing under the whole COVID thing going on. There's a lot of discussion about other events that might happen like this. So this is also an opportunity. This isn't my day job. I'm not trying to do this to take a job from anybody else. I work in aviation as my day job, so I was just helping out. But for somebody who does have a production and really wants to get involved, this is also a great opportunity to connect with the Global Fest people, to connect with various other people that are looking at this event as being something else. So it's really an opportunity to get to know a few people and participate in the event, and then you've got a whole lot of information that you're going to have to go forward and maybe do this somewhere else with another group or with these people or something like that. So I think it's a good networking opportunity as well if this is what you want to do for a living.
Yeah, and I agree. It is good, and I'm fairly comfortable if you're the guy organizing the flying. The other people, I'm not too sure how much experience they have with drones.
Right.
But I'm fairly comfortable if you're looking after this, Ron. So for those of you guys that don't know or aren't aware, Ron is a member of our group. He's been out on a few flies with us. So, and I've watched him fly, and I'm very comfortable with him. So you're in good hands if you're flying with Ron.
Yeah, we'll have to be a site safety coordinator, so it'll all be coordinated. It's really only 25 minutes worth of flying. So I'm doing it for the fun. I volunteered with a community group doing a Canada Day pancake breakfast for 7 years. So working for free on Canada Day is something I'm quite used to.
Yeah. Doug, you're too quiet. Comments?
I'm just watching tonight, I guess. I'm just more interested in the positioning of the drones, the helicopter, making sure communication's all going to be there. It sounds like Ron has put quite a bit of work into this and getting it organized. And
Yeah, I built an SOP for them, so we and we'll have briefings, like let's say briefings and rehearsals. So I think we're covering all our bases and making sure everybody's doing what they need to be and where they need to be and when they need to be there. We'll work with the video guys. We're going to have a schedule of what the fireworks are, so we'll know when things are supposed to be going up and bursting high, so to get in the wider shots, and when they're a little lower and being a little lower. So
Right.
we've got a lot of coordination going on with everybody there. Of course, the folks, the pyrotechnics folks, are all very concerned about where people are and where things are in relation to them. So that's all part of the detail of where we can and can't be. And so, like I say, the only crazy idea from them is the flying the drone through the fireworks. And I just, I mean, unless somebody's got a Phantom 3 that they don't really care about and want to try it out, but I don't. Whatever. The fireworks guys are aware of it, and that discussion has been happening with them. So
somebody was talking to me about doing it with their M210. So.
I'll take care of an M210 in a big hurry.
Well, no, not flying through the fireworks, but doing the event. Biggest concern that they had, and I thought, it's not necessarily a concern, but they were worried about the smoke, right? So,
fair enough.
They said if they had their Mavic Pro right now, they'd do it in a heartbeat, but.
Right.
They really didn't want to risk the M210.
No, that's a lot. That's a lot of big dollar hardware to be up there. I wouldn't put it up there.
Yeah.
You have to work with the wind direction and all the smoke too when you're triangulating all your drones to make sure they're not going to be sitting in the smoke.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of coordination for that to go up or above or left or right or whatever to avoid it as well. So for sure.
Have to have spot on communication so everybody knows where everybody's at. And
so anyway, if anybody has any questions on that, there is a link in the announcements. You can get in touch with the people there. I'm going to say that I think it's a worthwhile thing. If nothing else, you're going to get a chance to get one-in-a-lifetime shots. If you're not comfortable with it, then don't do it. But if you feel that this is something for you, get in touch with those people. And Ron is going to be organizing it. He's one of our people, so it's not like he doesn't have a little bit of a vested interest, because as a member of the group, we're going to beat the crap out of him if he doesn't do a good job. Sorry, Ron, I had to put you on the spot there.
Oh, that's fair.
So anyway, we're going to go on to our second topic tonight. And if you want to stick around, Ron, you're more than welcome to. If not, then thanks for dropping by. And
I'll continue to listen too, but I'm going to go back to trying to finish off some paperwork here.
Okay, absolutely. But anyway,
thanks for the opportunity.
Yep, thanks for dropping by.
Have a great night. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good night, guys.
Our second item is, and I kind of come across this in a real bass-ackwards way. I run a few different groups, and it was brought to my attention that a lot of people will send their drones into the manufacturer for repairs, and it's not necessarily DJI, but it could be any drone manufacturer. And if you send those in, occasionally when they send them back, they don't send you back your original drone. And when that happens, your serial number has changed. So all of a sudden, the drone that you had registered is no longer actually valid to you. So I got in touch with a few people, and then nobody seemed to know. And I'm going to be posting it in multiple groups tomorrow to bring this to people's attention. But nobody seemed to know about this. So I actually contacted my contact at Transport Canada And the information that they gave back to me was the fact that if your serial number changes, and it's not going to change in your original drone, but if you send your drone in for repairs and they send back a different one, it is your responsibility to deregister the old drone and pay for a new registration. I said, well, that's kind of crap. That's bullshit, because the serial number is changing, not through your own fault or your own actions. And she said, well, that's part of the reason why we made the cost of registration so cheap. Is it's not going to be a financial hardship if you have to register a new drone. But that's kind of a big thing to be aware, because I know a lot of people have sent their drones in for repair and may not realize that isn't currently the drone that they have registered. So if you've ever done it, check your serial number, and you're going to have to make those changes.
Yeah, there's more than just changing your sticker over on your drone.
Right. You can change it over, but if there ever is an incident and they check your drone, you're going to be in a huge problem, because that drone is not registered. So
yeah,
pay the $5 and register the new one. Anyway, what do you guys think of the new digs?
Looking pretty sporty there.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I got bored while the weather was real bad, so I built a new room down in the basement here, and I made my new drone studio. And besides where I'm broadcasting now, like, it used to be out of my office on the top floor, it's now out of the basement here, and I've got all kinds of nice organization on all my drones now, so it's not such a mess. But yeah. But Doug, anything further you'd like to add?
Well, I think what Ron's got going on there would be a really good opportunity for people, like you said before, even to fill your logbook to get that in.
Yeah.
I hope that it's a success, and they've got a lot of work. It seems like they've got to get going on and doing. And
hey,
too bad it wouldn't be a public.
That wall. It's on that wall already, Leo. But yeah.
But that's a great point you just brought up about changing the serial number with the registration. I've never even thought about that, but
yeah,
I know we do that with planes at work.
And nobody has, because I've talked to some very, very knowledgeable people, and they said, well, that doesn't happen. I said, yeah, it does. When you send it into the manufacturer, like I even put this forward to members of Unmanned System Canada. And if you don't know, they work very closely with Transport Canada on the regulations and stuff like that. So, and they were absolutely dumbfounded when I told them that. And so I said, well, we better get the word out there. And so I'll be posting it in their group as well as a few of the others. But anyway, we're thinking. I'm thinking. I don't know. Are you thinking, Doug?
I'm thinking all the time, and I know what you're thinking about right now too.
Do you? What are you thinking? What do you think I'm thinking?
A possible fly day coming up?
You betcha. Get out of my head. Ah! So weather looks possible, maybe Saturday morning for a group fly. I was down at McKinnon Flats today. I was kind of scoping out that for a possible fly day. That doesn't look promising. It's still flooded, but maybe on Saturday morning we might do Canyon Creek or McKinnon. If anybody's interested, keep an eye on the group. We will post something probably late tomorrow after we see the forecast. If you're interested, like I say, there might be a group fly on Saturday morning. In the meantime, and in between time, that's another edition of Stampede Wrestling, as Ed Whalen would say. So, any final thoughts, Doug?
Not really. Hopefully, if we can pull something off on Saturday, that would be great. Hopefully, the weather will be nice for us and it won't be windy or raining like the last week and a half.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I've been trying to get those shots done off of the that my buddy's been asking me to do, but it's either been windy, raining, or overcast, or all of the above. So
I haven't even charged my batteries because I just know that it's not going to be good for the next. Well, it looks like it's starting to turn today, so hopefully that'll make the difference.
Yeah. Okay. In the meantime and in between time, that's been another edition of our show, and hopefully you guys got a little bit of good information out of that. And we'll see you this time next week. Have a good night.